Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Not Your Average Gold Digger with yours truly, Dr. Marion McNabb. I am so excited to be here today in Uwharrie National Forest in central North Carolina on such a beautiful day. You can see the sun just beaming down. I'm sitting here in the most peaceful place right at the Uwharrie River. You can see it behind me. I hope you can hear it because it's so soothing. I'm here at the low water bridge, and excitingly, this is one of the first sites of where gold was ever discovered and recorded as discovered in North Carolina and in the United States, which actually ended up starting the gold rush. So I'm super pumped to be here as Not Your Average Gold Digger, Dr. Marion McNabb, in search for gold where gold was first found. Oh, goodness. So how did I find this place? Well, maps. We're going to be talking all about maps today and how I've used maps to locate where I'm going to go, see if I can find some gold, and use my new gold sluice today to take some of the concentrate that I found in North Carolina and some that I'm going to find along a creek that is part of this Uwharrie River behind me, in a spot where a local told me where not many have prospected. So he gave me a pro tip. So now I'm triangulating the pro tip from my colleague, which is around the low water bridge, alongside two different maps. And I want to talk about maps today and how to read them. But as I start, I just want to remind folks that Not Your Average Gold Digger, yours truly, Dr. Marion McNabb, is a novice here on gold digging, but that doesn't mean I won't be an expert later. So I want you to take, a little grain of salt and bear with me as I'm learning in these adventures, and you're learning with me. So if you have some constructive advice on how I could do things better, please share them in the comments. If you think I should shoot a video and learning about something else, add those to the comments. Send me a message. I'd like this to be a fun channel where we're all kind of learning together. And, please give me a little grace. I'm just out here on the creek learning how to dig some gold. So let's dig in. I started with maps to figure out how to get here. Now, when I'm in these areas, I'm in Uwharrie National Forest, and something that is important to know is that I am legally allowed to pan for gold here in Uwharrie. So the first thing that I did, though, was knowing that I was going to go into a national forest and potentially some areas that didn't have a lot of cell phone service, I went out and I bought myself an atlas. Now, I haven't had an atlas since I was like 16 or 17, but check it out. I used to use one of these puppies all the time when I drove around in my red Volkswagen Cabriolet that was with a white top convertible. Boop. You would always see me with one of these atlases trying to figure out where to bop around. So I went out and I bought one of these atlases again. Here, I'll show you. It is a topographical map. Now, I'm sure a lot of people watching this video know what a topographical map is, but if you do not, it is a map that simply displays roads, state lines, county lines, all those borders, sometimes streets, and goes to different levels. It's got scales, so you can learn how to read the scale of a map. It sometimes is up close, or sometimes it's at a state level, so you can't see as many features. But what's interesting on a topographical map is that it's also the natural features, like the river behind me, the Uwharrie River. You can even see the road that is behind me on this map. You can also see the mountain ranges on a topographical map. You can see now here, you can look, this is where I am, the Uwharrie Forest. You see it's all in green. That's designating that it's a national forest area. And in some places you'll see there's markings where it looks like there's mountain ranges. Okay, now those are contour lines, and there's contour lines in maps that tells you if it is a mountain, how much elevation is this 2D map showing you, right? So this is really trying to give you a gradient of, hey, this is a flat, low river, but right up here is a big hill. So I'll be able to tell that on a topographical map. Now, why is using a topographical map important for when we're out there prospecting for gold? Well, we have to understand that gold is formed in mountains, right? And in these old mountain ranges here in Uwharrie Forest, where I'm at right now. Whoop, a little windy. Let's get this puppy all situated. There we go. So I'm here in Uwharrie Forest, and this is a national forest, and now I know where I am on this map, but that doesn't mean that I'm allowed to pan for gold on every piece of this national forest. And in fact, I learned a lot when I attended and I went to the Uwharrie Welcome Center yesterday. So, what did I learn? The Uwharrie Mountains are the oldest mountain range in the world. Wow. They're older than the Mountains, the Appalachian Mountains, and the Blue Ridge Mountains here in North Carolina. The Uwharrie Mountains are the oldest. They were formed at the time of Pangea, when our continent connected with Europe and Africa, smushed together, and through volcanic activity and other tectonic plate activity, mountain ranges were formed. And that's where we are, is in the Uwharrie Forest. This is the oldest mountain range in the world. So cool. As a result of all of that metamorphic activity, all that volcanic activity, a lot of rare earth minerals and gemstones, and including gold, was formed. Now, when there's volcanic activity and there's like sort of that very, very high temperature, where you see hot springs around, what it did was it heated up the gold. It melted the gold, and it melted other gemstones and minerals, including quartz. Now, that rose to the top during all of these hundreds of millions of years, and then it settled into the mountains in quartz veins. And so in these parts where gold was first discovered, 22-pound nuggets. I mean, pounds of nuggets. Maybe I'll find a pound nugget today. Who knows? But I'm going to get out there on the creek on an offshoot of this river where I've been tipped off using my maps on where I'm going to find some gold today. So anyway, I started using the Uwharrie map. Okay, so federal lands here. This is the oldest mountain range, but it's the newest forest. This forest was established in 1961 by the Kennedy, John F. Kennedy, 1961. Now, interestingly, this is the newest forest, national forest, but it's also the most pieced apart forest, and privately owned land is in between the national forest areas. Now, within a national forest here in Uwharrie, you can pan for gold, but there are certain parts of the national forest that have already been sold off for their mineral rights. I asked, was that mineral rights to a company? Was that mineral rights to an individual? I didn't get a straight answer. However, I did go to the ranger station. Now, when you're looking for gold, again, maps are important. I can go to the bookstore, I can buy an atlas any day. Where am I going to really find the gold? In the local area and the local knowledge. So I went to the ranger station and I found the map where you can pan for gold legally, where it's excluded to pan, and where you can go. Now, I can look at these roads and I can look at these areas and I can triangulate that on my current atlas map and make sure that I'm in the right spot and I'm following all the rules. I don't want to get popped out here panning anything. I want to be legal, I want to be straight, and I know I can do this, and I know where I was tipped off on federally legal land to find that gold, so I'm going to go out there and do it. All right, so the other maps that I've been using to triangulate where I should find gold in North Carolina is actually from the North Carolina Gold State website. They have very informative information about where you can pan for gold, what equipment you can use, are you allowed to dredge, are you allowed to use motorized equipment, and they have maps from like the 1800s. So I have been studying these maps online for like 4 months now, really trying to understand in which parts of North Carolina are there the most gold that I can seek out, and where is it legal to do so? How do I get permission? Where do I get a permit? I've been doing a lot of planning. You've been seeing all my planning videos. I bet you are ready for me to find gold, just as ready as I am to find gold. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. I'm Not Your Average Gold Digger with Dr. Marion McNabb. We will find gold, and we're going to find lots of it. Okay, so how do I find gold in the place where gold was first found in America, in Uwharrie National Forest? Well, here's my map. I'm going in this area around Route 109, around Route 109 North, and around this low water bridge. I'm looking for a creek that, skinnies in size, not widens. And that's where I'm going to post up and try my new sluice. So the other maps, as I said, are these old gold mine maps. There are maps that you can see of particular areas, like in McDowell County, or in, all the other counties, that Rutherford County, and even in, the Uwharrie National Forest, where you can see where all the old mines were. And that's important because if you're allowed legally to pan around those mines, you know, sometimes in the olden days, you're carrying a cart and you're going over, you know, this gravel, you know, a nugget could have fallen off or something. So looking around those areas with metal detectors has been recommended as a good approach. So using maps for that has been great. Also overlaying new maps that you can find. So I've found some very new mobile applications where you can download ArcGIS maps. You can get much more sophisticated in your mapping. You can become a citizen scientist, which I'm going to probably do, and be able to document each place that I found gold and where I found gold. So I'm keeping detailed logs, my geo coordinates, how I got there. I'm pinning maps. I may not tell y'all all the exact locations because, you know, we'll figure it out. I don't want to gold rush too fast. But my goal is to teach y'all how to find gold on your own as a recreational gold prospector. I'm learning. I'm just curious. I'm not making this my living. But I like to get exercise. I like to be outdoors a lot. And, you know, this is a fun hobby where I could potentially make money. So stay tuned for part 2 of this video. I'm going to do an actual PowerPoint presentation that shows the details of maps, how to read them, what do scales look like, how do you read the scales, how do you read contours, and then we'll pinpoint one place that I'm going to go find gold in the future in that presentation. So thanks for tuning in. If you like this video so far, hit that subscribe button, like this video, share it with your friends, and join me, not your average gold digger, Dr. Marion McNabb, certified above ground surface metal miner in North Carolina, as I go on more adventures to find gold as a recreational gold prospector in North Carolina. All right, see you down at the next episode at the creek.